I bought a brand new camera just for that day.
I remember that.
And
I had
Jeff went out. Yeah, overnighting packages. He's like, he's gonna be out Thursday. If the UPS man don't come around, I'm gonna kill him. I said, Jeff. So we're out here scrambling. Eric is a content creator for years. He's like, oh, I got that. He just set his camera.
I got 7 of these things.
Yeah,
I set it up. I'm like, I don't have a background.
Yeah, he didn't have a background. That's true. He's like, I don't. This episode is brought to you by Trophy AI, the ultimate performance coach tool for sim racers. Hello and welcome to the Chicane Podcast, where we discuss all things in the sim racing world. I'm your host, Jason Rivera, and I'm joined here by Mr. Eric Kelly and Jeff Smart. How's everybody doing this week?
Doing good, man. May is here. If you're not up on game, May is the best month of the year. Go ahead, enjoy it. This is Cinco de Mayo right now.
Cinco de Mayo.
about to turn up, man.
That's what's up, man.
Dude, this is my favorite part of the week here, chatting with you gentlemen here. So I think we got I think I counted the other day. I think we had when this airs, it'll be 117 days to the expo. Not that anybody's counting.
Yeah, not at all.
That is the worst thing you can do, man, is count the days. Go by weeks, bro. Maybe to make it seem a little shorter, but
I'm not rushing it because I'm out of a job coming around that time, so I got to find a real job.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be just fine.
Yeah, you'll be good, man. But
yeah. So, man, I'll tell you, today's an exciting day. It is not by calendar, but it is exactly a year ago. The Chicane Podcast was born into light, and it was published for the very first time. And I still can't believe that it's been a whole year. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like 6 months, man. What do you guys, how does it feel for you guys? For real,
bro, I'll tell you that, for me, it feels like a blur. I feel like we just started. It feels like we were just setting up and trying to decide, what the format was going to be. Cause we'll go into it, but even just deciding whether we're going to do video or not, because we didn't start out doing video.
Yeah. And the length too, we couldn't figure out. We're still trying to figure out what day to record. Just today, I was like, man, we're gonna have to delay. But it's just that, we all have the responsibilities. I get that. And we're in different time zones, and we're lucky to have Eric and have him at least once a week doing this, because I have to give it up to him. It's always late as hell. And I always feel bad when I can't make it, or if I have to push a few minutes, it's like, damn, I'm digging into the man's sleep. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm locked in, man.
Jeff is down the street. Jeff and I will just figure it out. We're we'll come out at 9:00. That's 3:00 in the morning for Eric. Because we could, it would have been a lot easier if you could move to Hawaii, Eric. I get you a job here, man. Easy.
Hey, man, everything's an option. You're right. You're right. That is an option.
I'm telling you, man, we'll get you a Spam whistle bee, and you'll be happy camper.
Life is good.
That's it.
Hey, man, year-round golf weather, I'll take that.
Oh my God, golf! Don't get me started.
It's year-round, whatever you want weather, just not skiing.
We have to drive. I counted. And it's 8 golf courses to get to my house. Yeah. That is so painful, because if you don't have time to play, you're watching other people out there in their cars, smoking cigars, freaking.
Oh man!
Early in the morning too. You going to work and they're out there, bro. 6:00 in the morning, they're out there already. I'm telling you,
that's a good tea time
on a weekday.
Oh yeah. I live in that Hawaii life for real.
It's We're lucky. We're lucky to be here, and we're lucky to be around that. So maybe you visit one day, and we'll spoil you. Every other day, we'll pick a different course. That's kind of nice. But
I gotta get in shape for that. I'm still working out, still healing up on this injury, man.
Oh man, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. It's kind of unfortunate, but today, man. Go ahead, Eric. Let me just hear it.
No, I was gonna say I've been hurt doing worse stuff. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I remember you used to be a gym head back in the day. I remember.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Blue was all stocky, and that's what I used to call him, Blue. You still got it, bro. You still got it. You still
got like good. Responsibilities and a job and a family and expensive
and soccer. He's got soccer. You got golf. He's got barbecuing. He loves to barbecue.
Yeah.
He's got that big ass lawn too that you got. It take like 2 days to cut.
Hey man, all this rain, man, I'm terrified to get out there. We've been storming here like crazy, so we gonna see. Almost an acre, man. It's nice.
Damn, that's you need to like lay down some concrete there and put a jacuzzi or something. But anyways,
you've been talking to my wife.
This episode is going to be a very special one. We're going to go over the history of the Chicane Podcast. I mean, it's a kind of a pleasure to walk you through the story. So without further ado, I will get this started because it kind of started here. And a few ideas along the way, of course. So anywho, I was currently at my job and I was taking on a different job. I was celebrating my 10th year anniversary and I was headed down to Mexico. So I get a random email from a Jeff Smart that says, "Hey man, I heard you're into sim racing." And I was like, who the hell is this guy?
This is through my official military email account.
Yeah. And I'm
Jason's official work email account.
Yeah, like my work, all my stuff. And I'm like, bro, who is this? And then this gentleman that we both know, which I won't mention his name, he came up to me and he's like, "Yeah, I know that guy. I was the one that talked to him about you." And I was like, I can say his first name. I was like, "Dave, what the hell are you doing, bro? I'm leaving, bro. I can't help this guy. I can't help him." So Jeff, now that I know him, it makes sense now. But knowing Jeff, he couldn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, dude, I was relentless for a couple days.
He was like, "Bro, status. Like, where are we?" I'm like, "What the?" I'm like, "Who is this guy?" So I get home and I'm packing to leave. I think I leave the very next day, and I start typing messages and telling him, "All right, so what is the budget? What are you trying to do? Like, what do you like? What got you into it?" Trying to figure out how to get his build started. And then he's typing back to me and I got tired of typing because that's a big conversation, you know?
Yeah.
So then I started leaving voice messages to him. I left him like, "Jeff, I don't know if you could dig back, but this must have been like over 100 easily, maybe hours, maybe a podcast worth of content that I spoke."
Honestly, I think that's how it's really probably started was like, I'd wake up and have like 20 minutes of voicemail messages that I'd listen going into work about PC builds. You know, do you want a rig? You know, you want a rig, you don't want to fold up, you know, direct drive, you know, basically our first 10 episods, I got personally messaged to me.
He got a personalized.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what he told me. He said, and I have to be true about this, but half of those messages, I was drunk out of my mind because I was in Mexico. I was in an all-inclusive hotel. I was ordering drinks and I'm like, hold on one second. I'm in the swimming. I'm in the pool, and I'm leaving them messages. All right, listen. And my wife is like, "What are you? Who are you talking to?"
Like, I don't even know who I'm talking to.
And that's the thing. I've never seen Jeff's face at this whole entire time. I'm going out of the goodness of my heart because I know the gentleman that I worked with, and I know the gentleman that kind of vouched for him. That was the only reason. If not, Jeff would have been blocked and I would have moved on with my life. That's reality. I would have been like, "Yeah, man. Check out the sim racing den for reviews."
Google it, man.
Yeah, or Google.
Use some AI or something. But I want to say that just shows just how passionate you are, man. Because you're in Mexico celebrating in a pool, all inclusive, drinking all the drinks you want. You got your beautiful wife by you, and you're messaging Jeff's ugly face about a sim rig. That's how passionate you are about it, man.
So
I respect that.
No, I mean, I appreciate it. And you know what? This isn't the first iteration, and Eric can tell you. I've been trying to get Eric over to the sim racing thing for a long time. Way before the podcast. And it was kind of the same thing. The thing is that Eric knows me, and he knows how to dodge a bullet. You know, he knows how to dodge it.
Hey,
Jeff wasn't ready. Jeff wasn't prepared. When I sat,
I'm sorry, Jeff. He unloaded on you, man. He been
when
working
Jeff
on me for a
finally
while.
sat down, bro, and started putting the figures together, he was like, "Wait a minute, we're gonna have to."
If you gave me that memo, I'd have gold-plated walls and stuff.
Yeah, so
that's funny.
So it was kind of back and forth. Like I had a sim rig, and then Eric was playing GT7. He was obsessed with GT7. The man ran out to Home Depot and put some freaking 2x4s in that it didn't even fit. It was sticking out the window, remember? And you were like holding it like this, and you took a selfie, and I was like, "What the hell is wrong with this?"
I had to get it home. Man.
I'm gonna put a picture up here, man. I swear we gotta get that picture, Eric. We gotta get that picture.
Yeah,
I'll put it up here when in the magic in the post. We'll see it. So anyway, back to the story. So long story short, one of the messages that Jeff said to me was, "Man, it's like I have my own podcast," just like he said. But then a few years ago, we're talking maybe 7-8 years ago, Eric, my brother, Eric, my brother, and I were talking about starting a podcast. Remember that, Eric? But we didn't know what it was going to be. We didn't know. I didn't have a rig back then. We were just console guys. We were going to talk about like console games and phones and hardware and stuff. Yeah. But it just never happened, right? So years later, I found my inspiration. And then as soon as he mentioned that, I just got the idea, and I said, all right, I'm going to have to figure out a way to make this happen. So I came back from Mexico, and then I started my new job. So it kind of sat for a little bit. And then I started looking at, man, what's out there? What sim racing podcasts exist? Is it even worth my time? Right. So then I started looking, and I didn't find many podcasts. I mean, they're out there, but not a US based, not that I know of, not at this level. And I said, man, there's definitely space for a show at this caliber, especially now with all the hardware that's coming out and everything. And I said, man, if I can do this for Jeff, I can do this for many people to make you save money, to kind of stop you from overspending like I did. I spent
the lessons learned that you went through, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and then it's kind of like, that was the idea, started out that way, and then started talking to Eric. Eric was all for it. Eric's like, man, I've been telling you to start a YouTube channel. I've been telling you to get on Twitch. I don't know what you've been waiting for. He's been, and I was like, well, I don't know, man. I just, I do this stuff for me. I built the rig for me. We all build rigs for ourselves. We didn't build it to make money or to start up a content channel. We didn't do it that way. That is the truth. That is the honest truth right here.
Yeah, that's a new thing, really.
Say again?
I was just saying that's a new thing, really. Like having a sim racing channel, and that being like a big deal for a lot of people.
It's a benefit now because I have a rig now, and I can kind of, do some. You have a rig now, you have your PC, you have your stuff. So then Eric and I start talking about it, and we start talking about the platform, start talking about options, and we start talking about names. And I gave Eric 3 names. Remember Eric?
Yep.
One of them was going to be Dirty Chicane.
Yeah.
One of them was going to be the Chicane Podcast. And one of them, I forget the other one. But when I mentioned the Chicane Podcast, he said, hold on, stop. Remember?
Yeah. That was it, man.
Eric was like, stop. This is it right here. This is it. Chicane Podcast. So then I started doing all the artwork, and Nürburgring is part of our background on the logo. And that came from Eric because Eric's favorite track is Nürburgring. And I said, let me kind of do this logo and kind of, give him that little piece, right? So then Jeff is on vacation while this is happening. These talks are happening. He goes on vacation back home. And I hit him up and I'm like, Jeff, I really want you on the show. Like, I want to interview you so we can get your side of the story. It wasn't really planned to have Jeff as a third permanent guest because we already had 2 episodes. But when I mentioned the podcast to him, he was like, dude, I'm all in. I'm all for it. I'm going to order a mic right now. And I get off the phone and I look up and there's a picture of a mic ordered. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's way more than just a guest. He's coming on the show. He wants to be here. He wants to give his side of the, the story. Yeah. And his thing was F1. He's like, if I can just talk about F1, just give me a segment on F1. Remember?
Yeah.
Jeff was like, just give me my part. Just that I'll cover F1 news. Cause back then we were kind of obsessed with F1. It was like it was new, like not new, but Drive to Survive was kind of like during the peak of COVID, it was kind of like we were all hooked on it, big time.
I think, Jason, your big thing that you started with was, hey, like our audio is going to be top notch.
Right.
And I think out the gate that was, great for, thinking into the, about what you wanted the show to kind of be, like, hey, if we're going to do it, if you're going to put the effort in, you wanted it to be quality product, not just dudes chatting over,
exactly. And I didn't want it. I wanted 2 things because we didn't want, first of all, Eric's question, his first question was, remember, Eric, are we doing video? Yeah. Because he didn't want to do video. He was like, videos, there's a lot of stuff with video. It's harder to do video because
it takes a lot more prep.
Yes.
You got a lot more moving pieces.
There's a lot of things that can go wrong with video. Yeah. If I just did audio, if we just did audio, this would be a cakewalk because all I need to do is find a quiet room and a nice microphone. I'm good. Now we got to get all dressed up. We got to get all pretty for you. I'm kidding. So Jeff buys a mic, comes on the 3rd show, and I'm glad he did because he's proven to be one of, he has that character about himself, and there's a special thing with that. It kind of blends well. And then Eric has his character, and we all kind of blend with each other, and that's what the Chicane Podcast is the 3 of us blended together talking about sim racing. And it's because we've been doing it. It's not something that we plan, or we don't plan to do that. We get together, we start talking about, Jeff invites me over to his house with his family and everything. 5 minutes into the conversation with the wives, we ended up talking about, so what about the steering wheel? What do you think? Am I right, bro?
Yeah.
Like, what about this?
And then it was like, dude, this is a quick sidebar here. It's like you guys come over on like it was like a Thursday night or something. No, it was a Friday night. But I got like a 9-month-old at this point. Like, so my night is totally different than Jason's night at this point. Jason is getting hammered with my parents because they were out visiting till like 3 a.m.
Bro, his parents can hang, bro. Like, Jeff was knocked the hell out.
I was like, dude, little dude don't give a shit if you're up late. Little dude's getting up when that little dude wants to get up.
Your mom and dad are amazing people. I'll say it live on the show here. They are awesome.
They're good people.
But I'll tell you one thing. Your mom, she
should put the wine away.
Gangster, bro. The bottle ran out outside. And I'm like, and I'm looking at the bottle. I'm like, I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, maybe it's time to, it's kind of late, I don't want to overstay our welcome here. His mom is in the kitchen making leftover hot dogs. And bringing out. She's like, where you going?
Little 2 a.m. appetizers.
Says she keeping the party going.
Bro, I was like, this is insane. That's insane. That's a lot of energy. So God bless them. Really, God bless them. They're awesome people. I really do appreciate it. When they're around, it's like it's even better. The party just keeps going, She's awesome people, cool. Awesome people. So then we started with the audio. And then we had our first guest on the show. And our very first guest on the show was Constantinos from the lovely Dashboard. He was the first one to support the Chicane Podcast, and he was the first one to appear on it was his first time on a podcast for himself, and it was also the first time that we started video, right? And I'll give you the story on this one.
Yeah.
But we started video for that very first time, right, with him. So then I'm figuring out the video logistics. And this guy is in Greece. Eric is in Alabama. Jeff and I are in Hawaii.
Bro.
And he's like, dude, I have these 3 days. And then after that, I can't do it. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
So we start recording.
It wasn't like he was just like being a hard ass or nothing like that. His schedule just wouldn't allow
it. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, this is what I got because he wanted the support.
And he was he was changing his life around, right, to focus solely on
LD.
Absolutely the dashboard. So he was like, it was a difficult time for him personally and professionally, I bet, so
yeah,
for him to take time out of his life and then put like his, like, the lovely dashboard reputation with a bunch of, really at the time, Jason, we were kind of like, not that we're super proven now, but we were super new on the scene. And for him to take, go out there and put his, his face and, lovely dashboard, his
brand
theme,
out.
his brand. Yeah. Brand. That's what, and support us. That was like, that speaks leaps and bounds into who he is as a person.
Oh, for 100%.
Definitely.
I've been friends with the man for a long time when he started. So that's kind of how we got, he trusted a little bit, but still, I was new to video. We didn't have anything figured out. I bought a brand new camera just for that day.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
Jeff
went out. Yeah, overnighting packages. He's like, it's going to be on Thursday. If the UPS man don't come around, I'm going to kill him. I said, Jeff. So we're out here scrambling. Eric is a content creator for years. He's like, oh, I got that. He just set his camera
I got
up.
7 of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I set it up. I'm like, I don't have a background, but
he didn't have a background. That's true. Yeah. He's like, I don't care. I said, I don't care about the background. We need to get this on video. We need to get it in 4K on video. Yeah. So then we start recording. It was a Saturday morning for us. And like 30 minutes into the episode, the whole thing crashes.
Yeah.
His story, everything, just something went foul and went bad and it crashed and I couldn't figure it out. And I didn't want to make the man do it again. I said, listen, we're going to postpone another day because people have things to do as well. Like I think Jeff had something going on. Eric had something going on. Even myself, I had something I had to do that day. And I was like, oh, snap. So we got one day. So fast forward, Sunday comes around. We use a different platform with a free trial.
Yeah.
Stopped all the upload, did every single trick on the book that's on the internet, and it worked out.
Yeah.
And then I was stuck till 3:00 in the morning editing something that I don't know how to edit. And doing sound checks and all kinds of stuff to things that I don't know about. And that was the biggest stress that I've ever been in my life because I didn't want to fail him. He trusted us and I didn't want to fail him. That was all I could think about. I was like, I cannot let this fail. I cannot let this fail. If I fail, I'm a failure. That's it. This is it. You know what I mean? So the video is not our best video, but it actually came out really good. And it is featured on his website, which I still to this day, if you go to Lovely Dashboard, LSD, LSR.gg, and you go to his about page, you can find the very first Chicane Podcast video. And I was so excited. Like I mentioned it like 100 times. We're on video now. We're not just on the radio waves. And that's kind of what spiked it, man. I mean, that from then on, we just focused on improving the video quality. I know I could be a hard ass. The guys here could tell you about the sound checks and video and the lights flickering and there's a piece of paper in the back, any little thing. And it's because I care about this. I believe in it. The Chicane Podcast is a product that I believe in, and I want to protect it for sim racers. And that's where we're at, man. What do you guys?
Yeah. I just wish everybody knew the effort that you put in after
all
the
of
recording's over.
All of us, though,
because it, like, the polished, product that you see that gets posted on Monday mornings just doesn't happen by magic. Yeah. Right. There is a lot of post product or, post recording stuff that you do, Jason. And, I think sometimes we take stuff that's on YouTube for granted, the amount of work that's behind the scenes that you do for this thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's like, that kind of harks back to the original question I asked. Do you want to do audio or do you want to do video?
Right.
Because like I say, even for me, I've done a lot of videos, but I don't do videos of myself normally. Like, we're trying to incorporate that now. But just the amount of effort and prep and variables, things that can go wrong with video once you add that in, and then you have to edit it. You have to make it look interesting. It's not just about sounding good. It's got to be visually, interesting. And I mean, the time, this is, the amount of time that you've been doing this and the products that we get, the quality that we get, as somebody who's tried to make interesting videos and going down that path, I tip my hat to you, man. Like, I'm not being cheesy or nothing like that, but I like, you'll show me something, you're like, hey man, like, watch this clip or look at this. Like, what do you think about this? And it might seem like I'm like kind of easy to please, but I'm like, this looks good, man. Like, because like you said, you're a hard ass, but you know what quality is, right? Anybody talking to you knows, what quality is, whether it's in the sim rig or like, that's your thing. That's kind of, what we vibe over with tech and everything. So that's kind of the thing that sticks out to me. Podcast.
Still, like, I appreciate the kind words from both of you, but like, honestly, like, the voice wouldn't, how do you say this? The soul of the show is all three of us. Yeah, that's just the fact.
I think you're right, because
it's the soul.
I mean, it's really three guys.
Polish us up, man. For real. Make us look good.
I think it's three guys that just have a shared passion, and it's ultimately just us talking about our passion of sim racing. We have a loose format that we talk about, and it's three guys that are just talking. And like, when I listen to it in the car, sometimes it's just like, I feel like I'm like another dude with the guys listening, talking about sim racing. And I
find myself doing that, dude.
What our listeners
listen to my own freaking
appreciate is that, just like, like, these are my friends that I talk with, and I'm just listening to them talk about stuff that I like.
Yeah, that's what makes it not feel like work. Because a lot of times we'll be talking with.
Oh no, this is the fun part. This right here.
Yeah,
this is the fun part. It's just as the clock is ticking, I'm looking at the clock up there, and I'm like, yeah, and then I'm like, all right, and you guys been great. I mean, I tell you, I got to give kudos to both of you. Jeff is always coming up with most of the interview questions. He's always got that down pat, and it shows. Eric is always kind of monitoring what I'm doing on the show too. He'll mark something for me, and I go and check, and I'm like, man, you saved me like 15 minutes. I just go to the mark, or you try to assist me in as a co-host should, So you guys, I mean, I really appreciate you guys. I really do. I really do. Yeah. I think it wouldn't be as fun, right? Excuse me. It wouldn't be as fun without the two of you. So, I mean, we're here now, and our quality, I'm still trying to find ways to improve the quality, believe it or not. And same thing with the streaming. Eric was like, the stream already look good. And I was like, no.
Hey, look, I'm telling you this. I'm biased, but also, even if you're not biased, check out Jason's streams, man. Check out Track Go Sim Racing. He's doing things on this stream I didn't know you could do. Like the interactiveness,
it's dope, man. It's good.
Being able to change layouts and stuff like that. Like, that's like, dang, this is clean.
Yeah, I mean,
let me tear down all my stuff and start over.
The thing is, if any of you call me and ask me how to do it, I'll walk you through, and you already know I would.
Yeah, that's the God's honest truth right there.
I'm telling you.
You ask me, you give me a call and you ask me how to do this, I'll walk you right through. I could be hard on you too, though, because if I believe that you know how to do it, Jeff, if I believe that you could do it, then I'm gonna make you dig for a little bit, and I'm like, all right, and if you're stuck, then I'm like, all right, get on a FaceTime call, let's figure this out. And it's because I feel like this is just in a personal thing, but I feel like we learn by tinkering. That's how we learn. We learn by clicking every single freaking button and figuring out what this does and what does it do without breaking it.
Yeah, sometimes.
You ever watch a video of a how-to and they say, first unplug this wire, and then you hit pause and you unplug the wire and then you hit play. But whatever you do, don't unplug it before you unplug the green one. You're like, shit.
Exactly. That's exactly how it goes.
It up. So that's kind of the same analogy, mentality with that. So, and then, so that's kind of how a good portion of our year went, because that went on for a long time. Yeah. And we're kind of on a flow now that works really well. I'm really happy with the way we have this going. It makes doing those edits and those jobs a lot easier, because I can rely on you and I can say, all right, so audio should be 99%. I mean, we have families, we got kids, noises happen around the house. I fix those. I make sure that they're listenable, right? Mm-hmm. But I also make sure that these episodes are uncut, meaning there is no cutting in our episodes and there is no scripting in our episodes. This is straight. I wish you could see, I don't have a single piece of paper on my desk right now. This is all up here.
Yeah. Conversation. Like,
unless we're going over a product, or we're talking shit about EA, that's all up here.
It is pretty cool, and it's almost like hard to believe that it's been 50. This is what, 54, and we've stopped recording twice, maybe 3 times, and I think 2 of them were because one of us were laughing as we started the recording, and then the plus to the one that with Ms. Constantinos, which would be the third.
Or a camera died or something.
Yeah, you hit go and we go.
Yeah, we hit go. We kind of transform. We get into the mode of podcasting, and then there's the after podcast, because we always have an after one. We have a before one, and I'm always telling the guys, I'm like, guys, don't talk about that. That's good stuff. Put it on the show.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And
especially afterwards, it's like, why didn't you say that on the show? It's like,
yeah, man,
I hadn't thought of it yet.
So, I mean, I want to go over some of the accolades. I call this accolades, I guess. But we've had Constantinos on the show. We've had Danny Newman Racing on the show.
Isn't that wild?
Amazing.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Like some of the names you're about to riddle off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, bro. We've had Vlad Sanchez that emailed us asking us to join the league out of nowhere. And here we are promoting a GRL. We're doing 3-hour races with Michael from the Sim Racing, which is another person that reached out, met him. Now I talk to him daily. I was drunk in Japan and he was texting me over Discord about the active pedal. And the announcement came out that the Pro came out, and he was like, dude, I couldn't tell you, but I'm glad you waited. But I couldn't tell you. He's like, I've been having this Pro pedal in the house for like a month now. I'm like, shit, Mikey. And we've had Daniel Morad on the show.
Wow.
It's a 2-time champion.
Wild.
Yeah.
Rolex 24 hour. He got
2 Rolexes.
Yeah.
2 He went like that. He did 2 Daytona, 2-time Daytona winner.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish before I kind of sit.
We're almost done.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go.
So who else we had, Eric? I mean, you covered the rest. Who else we've had on the show?
Yeah. We had Mr. Neil Severin.
AKA the Top Shot.
The Top Shot.
And look at the Top Shot. Started up his own high racing livery creation. You reach out to him.
We had him on the channel, and dude, when you got the vast majority of comments are saying Neil's a legend,
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the top
I'm
shot,
telling you,
man.
Yeah, like for real, Neil's super cool, man. And that's I think that's everybody. No, we had Daniel Killian as well, man.
We had Mr.
Yeah,
Killian.
astrological.
Yeah,
Pushes
man.
out killer content, man. Killer.
Yeah, he's got what is it?
Astrological
Creative.
racing.
Yeah, astrological. He's got those crazy camera views and pop. So shout out to him.
Just put a new rig
rig's
together,
crazy.
I think, too. Yeah.
Yeah. We've also had the owner and founder of the Sim Gaming Expo, George Anzaldo, come onto the show, which is
George, if you're listening, take a deep breath. Get some sleep.
He's still not sleeping, bro.
Get a good meal.
I got a text from him at 9 p.m. Hawaii time. That's late as hell.
It's like 2 a.m. in Chicago or something.
He's like, bro, I got 3 more. I'm telling you, man.
If you're listening, buddy,
Facebook, man, he's got
some
somebody
sleep.
else. Yeah.
Want to have a live coach available on demand? With Trophy AI, you'll be able to practice with Manso AI at your convenience. A real-time coach in your headphones to navigate and guide you through the track, helping you achieve race pace. This tool is awesome as it provides full brake, throttle, and steering telemetry on screen with the live review getting you ready for your next big race. Check links to Trophy AI in the description and also use Chicane 12 in all caps for a 12% discount. I think that's everybody, right? Michael from the Sim Racing Den. We had Daniel. We had both Daniels, Daniel Killian.
Yep.
We had Vlad on the show, Neil. We had Constantinos twice. We had Daniel. We had him for the Christmas special on the show.
He had his little Santa hat on.
Yeah,
I can't wait to
it,
meet him in Chicago.
At the expo? Dude, Daniel's a goof, bro.
I can't wait.
He's building a jacuzzi. Oops. But he is. So shout out to Daniel DNR. Shout out to Lovely Sim Racing, all of them, man. Michael from the Sim Racing Den.
Gentlemen, did you guys get the same? I don't know what the feeling is, but when one of our guests, especially, like Daniel Morad, the Sim Racing Den, Constantinos, DNR, like when they pop up in the studio and you're like, holy shit, like I've watched hours of these dudes' videos.
Yeah.
And now their studio is in our little, like
it's right there.
A bunch of dudes that are just sitting here making shit up, talking about our hobbies. They're like, who are we? They're somebody's.
And then they'll say, I like the podcast. I've been listening to it. And it's like, this is crazy, man.
There's that.
You talking about our podcast?
I'm telling you.
It's wild, man.
I'm going to tell you one thing about this right now. What do you guys think, out of all those guests, what do they all have in common with each other? I want you to think real quick. Just give it, just tell me right now. And if you don't, I'll spill it. They're all down to earth.
Oh, I was going to say, they're all
dudes. Nice.
Just good people, good humans.
I've never had a guest that went foul or south on this show. Never.
Yeah, we can say that.
And
honestly.
each and every one of them wants to come back to the show, which is weird. I was like, well, not weird, but they're like, dude, we got to do this again. Daniel, bro, I'll show you the message. He's like, yo, let's come on. I'll just be in the background. I was like, come on down to the show, man. Hang out.
He is living large with the McLaren right now, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
Oh,
yeah.
He is
big time.
On
living
cloud
the dream,
nine.
man, for real. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So that's part of the, we've had some funny moments like that. We had some wild stuff happen. My intro just getting completely ruined because Jeff is in the background making noise and on purpose, like making noise and making me laugh. And I'm like, damn it, I can't concentrate right now. You can hear in some of the episodes I'm trying. This long pause, but I think I'll start with this one. This one question for y'all. What's been in the last year? What do you think has been our most memorable moment? Like, it could be anything. It could be anything you can think of. The answer is the first thing you just thought of right now. Just let that out. And I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, please. Go ahead, Jeff.
If you want the first thing, I won't say it's a moment. It's just like, we try to record every Monday. And it's just an awesome time to talk about one of our passions with two good friends is really what this episode, this whole thing is just talking about sim racing with your buddies. And we shoot the shit. We have a good time. We talk about, things that are, relevant to topics and current events with sim racing, but it's just hanging with the boys, like Eric, you're halfway around the world and we sit here and talk with you, for 2 hours a week.
I've never met Eric.
That is mind-blowing by itself. But it's just
but I see him. Crazy. Bro, I see both of y'all more than anybody because we're here on like 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I still never met Eric.
We're going to change that soon, man.
We're going to change that soon.
Yeah, it's just the relationship. Like, Jason, we went out, and your brother came and, we had one of the...
Oh, that was awesome.
You've been out fishing now a couple times. We've had... There is a trend here that every time you go out in the boat, we slay the fish. The best day fishing, you and my dad were out there and caught 4 huge mahi by like 9:30.
Bro, his dad was like a magnet for the fish.
So
he wanted to. We had like how many bait fish we had? We had like 20 of them suckers. Yeah. Well, I call it the jacuzzi. So Jeff's boat has a little what
fish jacuzzi. It's
the fish
live well.
Yeah, the live well. And I was like, yo, put them in the jacuzzi. So they're swimming in there in the jacuzzi. They're hanging out. And his dad is looked back. No, we can get more. And we were hooking like, bro, cast a line, come back up. I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, just hanging live bait. And Jeff is like, his eyes wide open with the hook in his hand. He's like,
bro,
go ahead.
You get live bait, your day it's on fire. It's going to be a good day.
We caught 4 mahis, and they were 27 pounders.
Yeah. I'm not talking, these are big mahi. Yeah.
Our biggest problem was we ran out of ice. That was our problem.
We could have, but we'd still be out there slaying them.
It was 9 a.m. and we were done for the day.
Yeah. Should have stayed out
there.
That's
crazy.
No, right? We should have filleted that guy and just ate him and use it as chum.
Yeah, man. For me, I'll say, because we talked about it when we were talking about starting the podcast.
Right.
And just kind of, we both did some research to see what else was out there. Like, especially when we were looking at the names, it's like, okay, well, we got to make sure nobody else is using the name. And very quickly, you kind of get to a point where you see nobody's using this name really, but also there's just not a lot to choose from.
Right.
And so with us knowing that sim racing, especially in America, was in its infancy, like it's still just getting going. And then there not being a podcast, to me, the stamp of like, you guys are in the perfect place at the perfect time was when Constantinos would have come on. And with me being new at the time to sim racing, especially on the PC side, so just really kind of getting into the lovely dashboard and Sim Hub and DNR and all that stuff.
Oh, you had no idea who this guy really, were so new.
Yeah, I was so new.
That's good.
I knew about what he was doing, like very fresh, and I was like still like in that kind of like, this guy is doing all of this, like he's tied all this stuff together, like this is crazy. Right. Like in my mind, I'm like, he's got to be sim racing like royalty. And to your point earlier, he gets on, and he's talking to us, and he's like thanking us for the opportunity, and just like a very humble, like guy who's just passionate about sim racing.
Like, and who are you talking to?
And I hate to do it, but being in the tech world, there's a very clear like hierarchy. Like anybody who's big in the tech world, not saying personally, but just like a Samsung or Apple or something like that. Like it's like they're not just going to interact with anybody, right?
I see.
They do, they're going to treat you. You're being treated differently as a small creator compared to a bigger creator, right? But to have people that are literally the foundation of sim racing today come on the podcast and talk to us like we're like value our opinion, value our time, and enjoy themselves. To me, that is like just put it really touched me as far as the sim racing community, because I talked to you about the tech community being I've got my
kind of toxic over there, huh?
But in general, it's just
I know what you mean. Yeah,
for real.
It's a good place, and that's the thing. It's kind of magical, right? When you put it that way, because when Constantinos is on the show, he shared some very personal things with us, You know what I mean? And it's a story that's never been told before. And it was told first on the Chicane Podcast. That just kind of took a thorn and ran it through my heart and said, you cannot mess this up. It's kind of like something telling me, you cannot mess it up. You cannot mess it up. Like, I called you guys up. I was like, man, I ain't getting no freaking sleep. I am not stopping until this is done. I don't care. You know, I did not care. And I'll be honest with you guys. I know a thing of two with software and video editing, but podcasting and tying audio and tying frames together, I was all new to it. It's just, I'm so happy that we pulled it off, right? We pulled it off. I was excited. I sent him clips. I said, you guys clip, and you guys were like, yeah, we got it done. The many times we go on vacation and we record 2 or 3 episodes to kind of, which you guys never knew about. Did you? You thought
the magic of the internet.
Magic of scheduling.
Yep.
So
that's one thing. That's another thing I tip my hat to you on, Jason. The impressiveness of every Monday at the same time.
No fail. What, a whole year, guys. We haven't failed a Monday.
Year, every single Monday.
Same time.
That is impressive, bro. I don't care what anybody else says. If you create content, especially if you do video, that is impressive. Weekly.
Yes.
For a year.
Because there's times that
I've had my days though. You guys,
me and you, for whatever reason, life, right?
You guys pick me up.
And there's one,
it's not
Jason,
all me.
You're the
they
dude.
Pick me up. I always text them like, hey, man, today I blank, zero inspiration, and the guys pick me up. They're like, oh man, we got this, we got that, and that's kind of that. It's not all me. I'm not perfect either. Yeah. So. Yeah, I appreciate the praises and everything, but I have to give it up to the co-hosts here, both of them, Jeff and Eric. They carry some weight too. It's not all me. So
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's I think to Jeff's point, it's a kind of an indicator of the love we all have for what we're talking about, and just the camaraderie, man.
It's amazing. And I was talking to Jeff about something similar. So Jeff goes to Singapore and he has a bright idea. He's like, I'm going to record the whole thing and we're going to put it on the show.
Dude, yeah. I mean, a lot of the people on the show don't know that. Like, I was trying to get somebody from the F1 teams, like behind the scenes, like somebody of no importance, like the dude that cleans the wheels, doesn't change the tires, like that cleans the wheel, like for the teams. I emailed every single team. Many, like the PR person, the person that does the Instagram, all of these things. How many I get reply?
That's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay because you know what? That episode turned out great.
I'll keep that episode forever.
Hell yeah, that's a memory, dude. And you were featured on the website, on the F1 website. Jeff calls me up. I don't know what time it was for him. He was in Singapore, Hawaii. His latest shit. He calls me up with a FaceTime with a beer in his hand. It's like 9:00 in the morning. And all I hear is an F1 car just going, rah! And I was like, yo, that's dope. And he's like, I can't hear a fucking thing. I gotta go. I was like, oh man, that killed me. Originally, I gotta be fair here. The original plan was for me to go with him. I was supposed to go with him, and then we got caught up with some plans, and the wife.
You got the new job and the vacations you already had planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to this day, that hurts. Because that was an amazing race too. We had the lizard on track that was burning up. Remember that stupid ass lizard?
Yeah, he's like, he goes purple in sector 3.
We had it was a good race. It was a good race, good weather. Cool. It was great.
It was a fantastic experience.
Yeah. It's so good that you trying to go back, but then I don't know.
Yeah, something to do with like inflation or I don't know. The price is like quadruple.
We'll find somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, wife and I actually thinking about going there in the fall. Not race related, but just a vacation there and maybe
to Singapore. Yeah, Singapore is dope.
Singapore.
It's okay.
And somewhere
else.
All right.
Don't worry about that.
So, like Thailand, Taiwan, Philippines. Just 2 stops out in that portion of the world.
Oh, yeah, bro. That's easy, bro. Too easy. But yeah, man. So I guess my favorite part of we kind of got caught up with the mini stories that we've had. My favorite part of the show is doing the test calls with some of the guests, because some of the conversations that we've had in there, were funny or like super interesting. And I go through the same thing with the guys. It's like, don't tell me this and put it on just keep that, just hold that. Just kind of like a fight. What is that movie called? Fight Night? Or what is it? Fight Club?
Fight Club.
Can you say exactly what you just said? Just exactly how you said it, but on the show. And then my other favorite thing is, I guess it's a shared thing, is hanging out with you guys and seeing you guys. There's really no other person I would rather do this with. And, reliability with each other. We have our own brand now. We have our own chat now that we talk shit in all day. And,
Eric, you woke up to probably 300 text messages this morning or 2 nights ago.
Sometimes I like to push Jeff's buttons. He probably notices it.
143.
George Russell's a nerd or some shit.
George Russell, the memes and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And that was another thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was another
143 messages this week.
It was
143.
And y'all were still going. It
was still like doing the dots, like
it was still
typing.
The counter was just going up.
I come out of work some days and it's in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
When I see my phone for the first time. Yeah. So and I'm like, oh, the boys are going at it right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I mean, this is just as much fun as it is informative for us. Like we try to keep anything we go over, we try to do a clear view. And like a clear and concise view, no bias. We all are. Every human being is biased to something. That's impossible to be, I'm unbiased. That's a lie. We all have our own preferences deep within our hearts, right? Exactly. But that's the beauty of this show. The beauty of this show is that when we look at it, you get 3 points of view. It's not just one point of view. So you got Eric's points of view. You got Jeff's point of view. You got things that Jeff may find. You got things that I may find. Then Eric comes next week and he's like, we found this. That we got to update this. You know what I mean? So you get six eyes on something, Yeah. And now going to this expo, which I highly recommend anybody that can make it. Chicane 10 is still active. Oh, and I'm being told, I hope I can share this. I hope George doesn't come after me for this. But I'm proud to say that Chicane 10 by far has been the number one promo code used for the Sim Gaming Expo, and we get 0 kickback from it. And I wanted it that way. I want all the profits to go to George, because George is putting his life on the line basically to get this thing pulled together. Yeah. Definitely. I don't want any money or nothing. I just said, George, we'll promote it. We'll push it out. We'll support it, because it's an expo that needs to succeed here in the U.S. We need to have
100%.
We need to have our own expo. We're the biggest consumer, I can promise you, in the world, especially in sim video games. The United States of America is where you want to be. Is where the market is. Yeah. So shout out to him. Thanks for letting me know that tidbit last minute. I used it here. So it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you use Chicane 10 or you use the sim racing, then has its own. It doesn't matter. We just want you to go. Yeah. Yeah. Just go. There is no boasting, nothing. There is no money, nothing. The more people I can meet out there, we can meet out there and hang out. Dude, we're going to have a posse out there. I'm telling you, man. It's going to be like 70 people.
Jason, that's, to your point is, go see all the cool stuff. And like we were texting today that, I'm like, looking forward to checking out some motion, etc. But also like just meeting that many people that are passionate about the same thing you are with sim racing, like going to dinner, talking with people about their rig, where they're good, how they got into it, what they like to drive, like dinner, a couple drinks at night, or going to get lunch with people, just people around the country and the US of just other people that are passionate. That's all separate from, going to check out the expo and the products and the guest speakers, supporting a fellow sim racer. Like George's one of the most passionate sim racers, not just about it, putting on an expo. Like he did like the iRacing League, like one of the most in-depth, like prizes and all this other stuff too, before he even put on the expo. So like there's three solid data points on why,
he's a sim racer.
You should try to go to this thing. It's going to be an awesome time for a whole bunch of different reasons, like I just talked about.
Yeah, and if you hadn't checked out the episode with George, make sure you go check it out. That's one of the things that really resonated with me, with him. He's a sim racer first, and that's who you want putting together this type of expo. Somebody who's putting their heart and soul into something they're passionate about, not just trying to make money.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. The guy ran a league, like Jeff said, and
he gave it up, right? He turned it off because he said, "Hey, like this sim racing should be bigger in the States. I'm gonna try to do it."
Yeah.
And if there's one person that is capable of it and is passionate as somebody that needs to do it, that dude was born to do this thing.
He was the chosen one.
Chosen one, yeah.
He is Neo from the Matrix.
Yeah, for this thing,
He's the one. The one.
Yeah. He's the one you want doing it.
Yeah.
Shout out to George, man, for real.
Big George Anzaldo. Shout out to all the guests that have been on the show. I really appreciate. I mean, we definitely have more coming, which is a great thing. I love having. That's my favorite part, is having a guest on the show. And we get to meet the creator, and that means you get to meet that creator, right? That means you get to, I guess, join us as we ask questions with them. But that's gonna be a wrap for today, man. I mean, it's our first year anniversary. Cheers, everybody! Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Glasses are up.
Yeah, we're a little empty over here.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll refill later.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers,
sir.
So I would say, cheers for another year. And, we got our first sponsorship. Trophy AI is a sponsor of the show. We got VIP passes to this gaming expo. I think we're doing good things here. I think we're in a good spot. And that's because of you all. You all supporting us. And, that's because of everyone that's following the show and the amazing friends that we've made, because all the guests that have been on the show are our friends now. And it's like people that frequent, you know what I mean? It's kind of nice, to meet people. It's like I have a whole nother, I don't know. It's emotional. It's emotional as hell.
I mean, you get people that comment, send emails, just peripheral engagements with the crew, we get a lot of people that comment on the videos week in and week out, and they just tell their feelings about, like they were in here with, talking with us in the studio. So it's just really cool to see the reach that the show's got, and it's cool. Yeah.
Dude, even after we do a 2-hour session with them, they sit there and it's crazy. They hang out with us.
Yeah.
And we're just like going at it and the cameras are off. And some of the content is like, damn, I wish that was in the final cut. But maybe I'll do a blooper video. That's just a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
To dig through that.
That's a lot of content. Yeah.
And that's very, very, very very raw in there. You know what I mean? With YouTube, we're 98% straight no chaser. There's some things, Yeah. But I should say we're 100% straight no chaser. Actually. Yeah. We're a little careful with the guests because we want to make them feel comfortable, of course.
Yeah. With the content and the message we're trying to deliver.
The message,
straight.
Exactly.
We might be a little raw of how we get there.
Exactly. So I just, I guess this is it. We do have a question of the week. Track of the week again postponed. This episode is is already peaking at our targeted time for this week. But I think Eric wants to go over the question, and I'll let him have it for this one. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this week's question is from Mr. Roy Wheeler. The subject is steering wheels. He says, first, love the podcast. We appreciate that. Always appreciate the love. He says, I look forward to it every Monday on my commute to work. Every Monday, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
He says, my question is about steering wheels. I keep fighting my temptation to buy the Bavarian Alpha. I add it to my cart, then delete. Next day, add it to my cart, then delete. Rinse and repeat. He says, I would like to know what makes a high-end wheel better than my current SimMagic GT Neo. Obviously, I would assume build quality, but what else am I getting for the extra $1,000? I'm under no illusion that it will make me faster. The Bavarian Alpha is just so damn sexy, I can't take my eyes off of it. So basically, I want someone to talk me into buying it. Thanks, Roy Wheeler. Roy, we appreciate you. Once again, we know the amount of effort it takes to write an email instead of just doing a thumbs up or a like. We appreciate those, but we also know that this takes a little more time out your day, and we appreciate it. I have no experience with the Bavarian Alpha, but I do have a SimMagic GT Neo that's near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
I have a similar question because I've never even touched a wheel that costs more than the SimMagic.
No, we got to get you a trophy wheel. It's got to happen, Eric.
Yeah.
I don't care which one it is, but you need to have one.
Yeah.
I know, Jason, you got thoughts on this, and I have my thoughts. So
I'm gonna let you go first.
You want me to go first?
Yes, sir.
So Roy, I was in the same exact shoes as you. Put it in my cart. The dudes here, no, they had to listen to me like waffle back and forth, like convince myself not to get it. And then I got it, and it was like, why did I wait so long? And here's the thing: is
smile on his face.
You look at the rig, and it just speaks to you. Like I don't think it makes me faster, but I enjoy it more. I just think it's freaking cool. Like my soul pack is just like, I don't know. It's hard to put in words, but like I walk past it and I'm like, yeah, let me jump in there. Like, and the wheel is what probably connects you to the your rig physically and maybe emotionally, because it's the part you interact with. And there's something about just the design of the one that you like, and it's different for everybody. Like, I think I have the nicest wheel in the world. Jason thinks the his is the nicest wheel in the world, right?
It didn't start out that way, but now I do.
What's that? Yeah,
yeah.
And here's the end result. If you can do this financially and it's not going to sting, you got it, and you just can't justify it to yourself because it's not going to make you faster. If you like it that much, dude, do it, because after I got my soul pack, I was like, I should have done this a long time ago. I enjoy it probably more than I thought I was going to. Go for it, dude.
All right. That's well said. I don't know how to top that. I will say the Bavarian SimTech Alpha, right? The good things about it that I know by heart, because we're at the closing stages of the show. So excuse the very, 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 very short review. Don't judge me on it. You guys know where this is coming from. Anyway, here we go. So ergonomics. That wheel's known for ergonomics. The grips, very, very unique. It has a multi-functional position switches, similar to my Artura, where you can flick a switch, 2 buttons become the plus and minus. So you can do a lot more functions with the wheel than any other wheel.
That's cool.
They're hand built, which is another thing. They're super high quality. And I will piggyback off Jeff. If you like something and you thought about it and you went to sleep and you woke up and you thought about it again, it's time to buy. But make sure you buy responsibly. And if you really want to see more about it, our favorite creator here, Michael from the Sim Racing Den, has a full review that I'll leave I'll give him kudos and leave a link of that video in the description. And he's a reviewer and creator that we trust on the Chicane Podcast. So
definitely. Yep.
That's what I would do. And if you can afford it, if you watch Micah's video, it's over. Promise.
Yeah, I know.
It's all over.
I watched the belt tensioner video.
You won't regret it. If that's what you're thinking, you won't regret it. And it's supported by Danny Newman. Danny Newman has LED profiles for it ready to go. If you're a Danny Newman user, if you're not, give it a try. You know, it's optional, but very, very useful. And with that, guys, let's hear it, Eric. What you got?
I'm just saying, if you want to love it more, DNR. For sure.
If you want to love it more, DNR, but if you don't, you can always, what you call this? You can always do it yourself, but that take ages. And Jeff can attest to that.
Yeah, he can talk to that.
Yeah. So up to you. Options are very good these days, right? With that. Back when I was shopping for a wheel, there was no DNR, and I got lucky enough that he actually released a profile months after I bought one. But most of us didn't have that option back in the day. We had something called Yoke Delight, and that didn't control all the functions on the wheel. All it did was give you the rev for the wheel, and it was only for iRacing. Anyway, it's not for all the games. Yeah,
man.
But anywho. It was fun today again, like every day, and wanted to make this episode. I've been thinking about this episode, and we just went the same way as we always do: unscripted, unfiltered, uncut, and with a little bit of boozy, just because celebrating, thing we do. That's. But anyways, any last calls, guys? Any final round tables?
No, other than I've been slacking for the last couple of weeks. Drive fast, break late.
Drive fast, break late. Okay. Damn, I missed that, didn't I?
I know.
He caught it and I did it. Look at that. That's all right. Eric, you got anything?
Yeah, no, nothing from me. I got to come up with a catchphrase. It's been a year. It's about that time I come up with something.
So thank you guys so much, both of you, for our followers and listeners. If you guys follow us, now that you heard the story of how we became a video podcast, being audio at the same time, if you have been following the show on the audio format, please do us a favor and subscribe to the YouTube channel and leave a like. Just even if you don't follow us on YouTube, even if you prefer the audio format, I made a promise never to remove that format. And it's been a whole year since. But if you can support us that way, that would be a major help. And with that, guys, I just want to say cheers for another year and have a great start of your week. Thank you.